Hospice, you see people with cancer that it went the other direction kind of thing.
Yes.
How long have you been doing hospice, and kind of what is that world like?
I did hospice a while ago. I did it for about 6 years.
Mhm.
And I got out of it because the kids were little. And hospice is something you have to be 100% devoted to. And, those patients, when they need you, they need you. And it was kind of hard to be able to give 100% to them and give 100% to the kiddos. So it was time to make a change, and I went and wanted to get all my nursing skills back. So I did some other things for a while, but my heart was always with hospice. In fact, I would be at the surgery center and somebody would talk about hospice, and I'd say, "Oh, I'm a hospice nurse." They'd be like, "But you're a recovery room nurse." But really, I'm always a hospice nurse.
At heart, yeah.
Once you are, you are. If you are. So, so I think it has to do with what you were talking about people kind of shying away when things get rough, when people really need people. And so I think that's why I really wanted to get back into it. So I've been back into it only for a few months now, but I've got about
It's February.
right. 6 years of experience behind me.
Wow. So do you have any stories? I'm sure they're all very personal and
I have amazing stories. The people that we get to meet and that we get to talk to, I talk to World War II pilots and people who survived, the rise of Hitler in Germany, and people with histories that you couldn't imagine. And when you're in a hospital setting or a clinic setting, you get like 10, 15 minutes, you do your assessment, you move on, you're so busy. And these people have so much to share. So the beauty with what we get to do in hospice is we get to give them our time and sit and listen and meet the most incredible people and hear their history. And they're so happy to be able to tell it because, their families heard it all hundreds of times, mostly.
that wasn't scary.
And so we get to do that. People that we talked about, I've seen people talk about. We had a little girl one time that talked about going to live with Jesus, even though her family weren't practicing. They were not, of practicing their faith. Saying she's going to live at Jesus's house. I've seen husbands reach for their wives that have passed and say their names. I've seen people who go from fear to smiles during the transition. So that's the end part, and that's it's beautiful, it's sad, and it's beautiful, but there's so much about hospice that people don't understand, because I always say it's kind of the buzzkill of any conversation.
It's not a favorite party topic, is it?
No, it's not. They go, "Oh, you're a nurse? What kind of nurse are you?"
Yeah.
And I say, "I'm a hospice nurse." They go, "Oh." It definitely stops the conversation.
Yeah,
But
the cheese dips out. Let me go over there.
Yeah, they don't want to continue. But it's so awesome, and I wish everybody really knew. It's not it's not about dying, it's about living. We're all dying, right?
Yeah.
Every one of us. So I could be part of a team that kind of gets to hold somebody's hands for their last days, weeks, months, years. Sometimes we have them for years. And spoil them rotten and bring them joy and help them meet their goals and just give them the best quality of life that they ever had, in their time of being sick prior to coming on hospice. It's rough. And once people kind of make that decision, when they decide they can't have treatment or don't want treatment, and a lot of our patients, they're just older and their family members have gone and they've said, I'm good. I've lived my life. I don't want to go sit in an ER hallway for 2 hours, 3 hours. I don't want to get poked and prodded. Just
Let me go.
Let me ride this life out as best I can. And so we do. We give them the tools that they need, and we go to them, and they're so happy. It's not about us, it's about them, but there's something about the joy you feel when you walk through the door and you see them light up, because they're so happy to see you, and they know that you're just there for them.